So what's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are driving a TRD Pro 4Runner. I have been trying to get my hands on one of these ever since I saw this. This is where you can see Toyota starting to make the change in their lineup to make their cars more fun to drive. I mean, them bringing back the Toyota Supra, them adding like a nightshade package to the 4Runner. There's a lot of good changes, and I love the way this thing looks. This thing looks so good, and I am so excited to take this thing on the road for a test drive. So hang tight and I'll be back in a second. Alright, before we get started with the video, I want to give a special shout out to this company called Izzy Auto. They sent me these floor mats for the 4Runner, and I had a chance to test fit them, and the fitment on these is really good. They actually use a precision digital laser scanning, and they also do help to give it a really good fitment for the floor wells. Now, one thing I noticed too is that there is no strong smells with the floor mats or anything like that, so let's go ahead and take a look at them. These floor mats do have the little rivets in the middle of the floor mat, and that's going to kind of help trap water inside of them. And these are going to give you really good year-round protection against like any type of rain, snow, or salt. Now this is a TPE material, and it's going to be strong and durable, and does not wear as fast as like a PVC material does. And one last thing to mention is they do feel really nice too. So like if you like me, you like to have your shoes off in the car in the summertime, and you have your feet on the floor mats, they do feel really good. Cleaning the floor mats are going to be really easy too, and as you see in this example, having those little rivets inside the floor mat does kind of trap the water or anything you have inside the floor mat, so that way it doesn't get on the carpet. And that's really the main goal of having these floor mats, is to keep the carpet clean. And I do like the fact that you have those high side walls too, that way the water doesn't go outside of them, and so it's just really easy to keep the car clean. And whenever you need to go to wash your car, these floor mats are very easy to clean off, and as you see in the example here. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and install the floor mats inside of the SUV. So these floor mats are really nice. I mean, they have like a really nice feel to them, and they fit actually pretty well back here too. Check that out. They actually come all the way over, which I like, so that way you don't get rocks on your carpet in here, but it does a really good job of protecting the entire floor. I'm gonna go on that side and show it to you over here, and all you have to do is just push it down. And like, look at that, it fits perfectly. I mean, these are really good floor mats. Like, I would actually buy these, for my 4Runner, and not buy the OEM ones. The OEM ones don't come all the way over like this. They kind of stop right here. So you, like I said, you get that dirt buildup right here. So this comes all the way over, and it's nice and flat too. These just came out of the box, so very good fitment. Now out front, all you have to do, this is gonna be for the front one. You can tell by this little piece here. I normally go in like this. That way you can go under your pedals and lock them in place. And now it does still use these locks that come with the 4Runner, so it's literally like an OEM fit. I mean, take a look at that. These are really good floor mats. Like, and again, they come all the way to the end of the edge here. That way you don't have to worry about like dirt getting under here and getting the carpet dirty. I like the way these fit. Last but not least, here's the other one. You just push it in like this, you drop them into these locking tabs, and check that out. Look how easy that is. I mean, really good fitment. And I mean, they're actually soft, so like if you're using these in the summertime, like these won't feel like hard on your feet. They have like a nice feel to them. And I like how they give you like these little bolts too, to give it like a little bit of design. But guys, these are really nice floor mats. They go with the interior. I mean, even if you have a lighter interior, it would still look nice. But hey, there will be a link in the description for these floor mats to give you guys a discount, so be sure to check it out, and let's go ahead and get back to the video. Alright, I know you guys can't see it in how I'm acting, but I am so excited to drive this thing. Like, this is one of my favorite, well, it's not true. This is my second favorite Toyota SUV. The Land Cruiser is bar none. I would love to own an 80 series and a 100 series Land Cruiser one day. If I can have like a big garage, those two SUVs will be in my garage. But this thing, this is just like the older 4Runners. Like, there's nothing different about it. It's still a little sluggish. Now, I do know this thing does have a part-time four-wheel drive system, so it does feel like a little bogged down when you accelerate, but it's not a bad thing. I mean, you don't buy this thing for speed, you buy it for off-road. Alright guys, so as we mentioned, this is going to be a 2020 Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro. And then this is just going to be a quick short listing of the options and features for the 4Runner. And as I mentioned, this does have part-time four-wheel drive. And here's some of the safety and convenience. It's gonna have like automatic high beams, all your traction control systems, lane departure systems. Exterior has a power sliding rear window. Interior has a 15 speaker JBL. And this is what's gonna come in that TRD Pro. Now some of your optional equipment, there's not any packages that really come on this. It comes kind of like the Land Cruiser when you get the TRD Pro. But you do have a few things like the sliding rear cargo deck and the underfloor storage compartment, running boards, blackout emblem overlays, and you do have a cargo cover, and then you have the door edge guards too. It's going to protect the edges of the door. Delivery and processing is going to come in at $1,120, and you're going to have a total price of $51,998. And if you're interested, this is going to be your fuel mileage. Now this thing is riding on Nitto Terra Grappler tires, and there's a little bit of noise from the tires, but it's not bad to any extent. I mean, I'm doing 60 miles an hour. That was just the lane keep assist just now. I just hit the line a little bit coming around that curve just now, but the tires, they have a little bit of noise on them. Not bad though. It's what you would expect from an off-road tire. Let me get up to about 70 miles an hour here. Really easy to see out of. I mean, this is a big window here on the side, and I like how upright the front windshield sits too. It really does kind of make you feel like you're driving a true SUV. Like, this isn't a crossover. This is a box on frame setup. Very, very easy to drive. I wish I could take this thing off road somewhere, but I can't because it's brand new. I cannot do that. And big thanks to DARCARS Toyota of Frederick for allowing me to drive this thing and give my impressions on it too. Now, what better way to do a walk around than to show you the truck in an off-road position like this? Check out the skid plate. It says TRD, and then you can see a better look at those Fox shocks too. Take a look at that. Look at the attention to detail they have on the suspension. The only thing I would like to see is probably them using a little bit more aluminum to kind of save some weight on the overall suspension. But man, this thing looks so good. And just even up front, I mean, you have so much ground clearance. I went up at an angle because I didn't want to scuff, of course, but take a look at that. Now this is riding on the Nitto Terra Grapplers, and these wheels are going to be wrapped in 265/70 17-inch wheel. And then here's just a better look at that suspension there too. If you want an off-road SUV, this is one you got to put on your list. I love these roof racks too. They kind of like have that safari look to it. And of course they have your TRD Pro emblem on the side. Running boards just below here. I'm really surprised that they use Nitto Terra Grappler tires too. That's pretty interesting. But take a look at the rear shocks too. I might back it up so you guys can get a better look at it, but it looks really sophisticated too. TRD. I'm not sure if this is a TRD exhaust, but it does say TRD on the tailpipe there. Out back, you do have LED brake lights, and check out your black badging on the rear too, and then TRD Pro at the bottom there. I do not see any parking sensors on the rear of the bumper, but check this out, man. This looks so sick. This is so clean. One day I have to probably upgrade my wife's car. This might be one on the list to look at. This is so nice. All right, take a look at this wheel articulation on the rear too. Wow. So nice. Yeah, it has no problem climbing some rocks. I mean, this is a pretty steep grade here too. Now, I was looking through some of the trim levels for this, and the TRD Pro is actually the most expensive 4Runner you can buy, and there's not many options that you can actually add to this thing, so it stays pretty close to the price. I mean, you can add to floor mats, and I think there's a tray in the rear that you can add to it, but that's it. And this thing has a lot of different features. Like, of course, it has dual climate control, has a big 7-inch screen, and has a really clean layout for the gauges, and has all automatic windows. And get this, look out back. That's one thing I miss about Toyota. I love having the option to be able to drop that rear window and then make that auto too. Now, if you're not familiar, this design has been around since, I believe, 2010. They've done some refreshments to it, but overall it still does look pretty aged. One thing that you notice is it does still use halogen headlights. They are using an LED for the fog lights, but there's no LED accent lights on the front of this one. The other issue in this is going to probably be the fact that you have a very ancient powertrain too. Would like to see maybe a turbocharged V6 or something as an option, just because, I mean, I feel like although this does have enough power to get you up and going, it does feel a little sluggish. And the other issue is it does have a 5-speed transmission. One good thing to say about this drivetrain is it's going to be bulletproof because it's been around for so long. They fixed pretty much all the bugs out of it. I'm going to show you guys a little bit of acceleration. I got to get back on the ramp here. I'm going to do a full open throttle here right now. So that's with the AC on, but that's pretty good acceleration. I mean, this thing only has 270 horsepower, 278 pound-feet of torque, so that's really good for something like this. I mean, this thing is, again, not built for acceleration and speed, but it's really built for off-road capability. And take a look at this nice interior though, love it. Opening the driver's door, you do have a leather wrap top here with some red stitching, and all your glass will be auto, and of course all your locking functions for the doors and locking the windows is up here too. And one thing to note too is that you do have a light just below that's going to help illuminate if you're getting in and out, and you do have a power driver's seat too. Stepping in, you do have controls for your volume and for your audio, and this is going to control your MID, which is your multi-information display. And on the side here, you do have your automatic high beams. This is how you control your outside mirrors. And then, of course, this is going to control your power outlets in the rear. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you do have a very clean gauge cluster. When you go to put the car on the on position, shows you ignition on. And they do have push button start. So once you hit that button, it gives you this nice clean startup screen here. It shows you the 4Runner. And using these buttons on this side here, you can kind of control all of the features. You can show your fuel economy, distance till you're empty, eco mode, speed, sway warning, and of course shows your steering angle and your tire pressure, navigation, music, and all your driving features too. Up top, you do have controls for your home link, for your lights on the inside, and you also have traction control. Active traction control is going to be for like off-road use, and this is going to lock the rear axle in the rear, and this is going to be for your sunroof. Now, if you do take this thing off road and you would like a cruise control for like rock climbing, they do have different speeds that you can go at up here, and then this is just for different terrains. You have light and then heavy. You just hit the button right here in the middle to turn each of these on or off. Overall, this is a pretty clean, easy infotainment to use. I am on the home page right now. If you would like to go to menu, you can just click menu. You have destination, audio, phone, apps, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, info, and setup. If you hit the maps here, you can just hit the map. That'll slide out of the way. And if you need to go back, all you have to do is just hit menu again, and it takes you to each system that you may need. You do have XM radio already included with this. You have to pay a monthly subscription after a certain amount of time though. And then you have a phone. If you like to set up your Bluetooth, shows you how to do that. And if you have any apps that you would like to use on your phone, they can be connected on here too. And of course, if you have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, info, and setup, and then the display here, you can turn off the screen if you'd like to. Now, just below your screen, you do have your climate control. Now, this is going to be dual, and you have all of your buttons outside of the screen, which I do like better. It's easier to use, I feel like, this way, and if you do have the screen off, you don't have to turn back on to turn your AC on or off, or your heat, whatever you're using. Just below there, you do have one USB and a power outlet here. Place to store a phone and additional place to, well, it's not too deep, but you can put maybe your wallet here maybe. One cup holder here, another one, and then this is probably another spot where you can put a phone. Heated seats, and this is how you drop that rear glass in the rear. Now check out these seats too. You have a TRD embroidered into the headrest, And look at all this stitching that they give you. Red stitching kind of goes with the outside with the red Fox shocks, things like that. And take a look how deep this is. And of course over here you do have a large compartment to store things too. Now out back, this seat is all the way back. Very easy to get in and out of. And with the seat being all the way back, I still feel pretty comfortable. They do give you 2 USBs. Let me just open one, it'll be a little bit easier. You have one there, and then you have another one down there too. They do give you vents back here for your rear occupants. And overall, I mean, I bet you could fit 3 people back here on a nice short drive, but I think 3 people might be uncomfortable back here. They do give you cup holders here in the center, and then they also give you a pretty small one in the door. Now, if you would like to put things that are long, this is how you would have to put the seat down. Basically, you have to pull this up and then pull the button, and then it drops down. This is more like a heritage thing from the early 4Runners. This is how you had to put the seats down. This flipped up and then this folded flat. But if you would like to recline this rear seat, you do have a lever on this side to do that. All right, I want to do a quick test here. I have my Yeti today. I want to show you guys where this is going to fit at. So it does fit. Oh, it does fit here, but if you want to get something bigger, this does come out. And the same thing goes for this front one here too. This is a pretty big Yeti, but it fits in pretty much every cup holder up front. And these do come out if you need something a little bit bigger. And then in the door, it kind of fits, but I wouldn't do it because you'd have a mess. Now out back, it does kind of fit in this one. It's not great, but it fits. And then in the center, you have the same scenario where these come out and it gives you a slightly bigger cup, and then they fit pretty good in there. I would like to see them maybe put some cup holders somewhere maybe down here, but unfortunately this is the only spot, and then you're just limited to the doors. All right, I had these boxes in storage, and I want to put this in the back of the 4Runner to see how well it fits in there. So I'm gonna basically like fold it up into a box, and it's a 22 by 18 by 18. So let's go ahead and see what it looks like back there. All right, so with the box in here, you basically have a lot of space. I have this up. I mean, this is probably gonna add probably about maybe a foot onto this box here, but let me go ahead and fold it up. That way you guys can see just how much space you have in here too. And one cool thing about this rear is that this has a tray. This is optional, but it does have a tray that does slide out, and then they do give you storage just below here. Maybe just to hide like small belongings, hide your 9mm or something like that. And they also give you your power outlets. You do have a subwoofer back here too, and they also give you 2 additional speakers on the tailgate also with lights. But hey guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I wanted this again to give a special shout out to DARCARS Toyota of Frederick for allowing me to do this video. Feel free to give them a call. Their sales number is right up top here if you would like to give them a call on this one. And just let them know you saw this video, and I will see you guys soon.